Hi sewing friends, it's me Alice Murray with my channel Murr-made Designs, and we are just going to jump into the good stuff. I got a lot of things I want to share with you. The technology has been fighting me, so I want to do it quick before it fights me again. Ending with, I got to tell you how much money I think we saved with this 1 meter makes challenge, with these 10 makes. So, yes, we've been doing 1 meter makes, 10 of them for $75 for the fabric. This is the last one. Well, let me show it to you. It is a very cute little summer dress. I would call it a jumper. People in the UK would call it a pinafore, which I kind of like the sound of better. When I was making this dress, I thought it was so cute and it reminded me of eating ice cream for some reason, and it makes me want to take my grandsons for an ice cream. I made it out of this cotton, light cotton, and it has these little raised, I don't know if you can see them, these little raised bumps on it. Is that called schlubby? I don't know. If you know, please let me know. It's very light schlubby cotton, which I shopped from my neighbor's stash for $5 a meter. I bought 1 meter and it was 54 inches wide, which was with a lot of enough to get this jumper out of. The pattern is, you saw this yesterday, Simplicity 9415. I made the top, I made it into a dress, but I made this top yesterday. This is the jumper. And it says, pullover flare dress has self shoulder straps and knee length or mid calf length. Blah, blah, blah. Suggested fabric is chalet, crepe, double georgette, laundered silk, whatever that is, rayon, silk linen, crushed velvet, jersey. I do not think I would make it out of crushed velvet, but maybe. So yeah, I was going to tell you for the size I made, which was this was a size 20. I got it secondhand. It was already cut out to a size 20. You need, that's the top, long dress, short dress. You need 2 1/4 yards. And I made it with 1. Instead of laying them both out the same direction, I laid the pattern pieces like this. I folded the fabric. No, I didn't. I laid the pattern pieces like this. So basically I just cut between them. There was no leftover. This is the entire amount that I had left over. I had to piece the facings. I actually lost this facing piece and had to just trace it out with the top, but I pieced the facings, which is no big deal. And yeah. So 2 things that they said in the instructions that I thought was kind of odd was that it had a 1-inch seam allowance, and after you put on the straps and the facing, you were supposed to put it on and like inside out and pin the sides and then sew it. I did that anyways because I cut the size 20, which I knew it would be too big in the top, but I wanted the skirt to be as big as possible, so I put it on and fit the top. But I've never seen that as an instruction of how to gauge your sides. Then the other thing that they did that was a bit odd is to put the straps on. The back straps, they said, put the strap on, put the interfacing on top of it, right sides together, sew it up. You turn the facing to the inside, and then your strap is sewed right in the middle, and it looks great. But on the front, they said just to hand sew it inside after you put the facing on. And I thought, no. And so I measured it, took it off, put it in so it was coming up, put the facing on right side, sewed it, turned the facing to the inside, and it is sewed in there. Looking pretty snappy. And then I added fisheye darts in the front and fisheye darts in the back because I like it a little bit more fitted, even though, you know, it's just kind of a jumper. It's supposed to have room. It's just pull on. There's no closures or anything, but I still like it a little fitted. So I just added those. And the way I did that is I put it on and kind of measured them and took it off and kind of measured them and then I iron in the fisheye darts and then sew them. And that works like a charm. So yes, I think that Simplicity 9415 is a winner. I'd like to make it again out of a quilting cotton, something just a teeny bit heavier. And I looked on Etsy, and you can get this pattern for $5.15 on Etsy if you would like it. So now what I would like to tell you, here is the 9 patterns. This one I used twice. The 9 patterns that we used for our 10 garments, all made out of 1 meter, which is the same as 1 yard. This is 3 inches more of fabric for $75. I didn't count the price of the patterns. I just counted the fabric. I did use 1 zipper. I did use some bias binding. I didn't count the cost of that or the thread, nothing like that, just the fabric. 10 makes for $75 out of 1 yard. So then what I did, probably that'll fall on the floor. So then what I did is I went through the envelopes and added up how much material they had suggested for the makes. And they had suggested, we used 10 meters, they suggested 16 meters altogether. And so I spent an average of $7.50 per meter because it was $75. A conservative number would be maybe $15 a meter. That's pretty conservative. If you can get fabric for $15 a meter, you're doing pretty good. So even with that conservative number, we saved $165 on these 10 makes. $165. And then I was thinking, if we bought these 10 makes in ready to wear, I don't even know how much we would have saved. And I know sewing is expensive, and lots of times it's hard sometimes to see the difference between ready to wear and sewing, because sewing seems so much more expensive. You've got a sewing machine, you've got all sorts of stuff. And I actually think one of the biggest problems with sewing is, for me, is not getting carried away buying fabric. Because I can definitely get carried away and buy, several $100s worth of fabric. So it's trying not to get carried away. It's trying to use things like destash sites, shopping your neighbor's stash, shopping your friend's stash, reusing fabric out of, I didn't do that in any of these makes, but you can reuse fabric out of refashions or old bed sheets, or I've got a shower curtain I'm going to make something out of. What else did we do to save money? Oh, just shopping the discount areas of fabric stores online, and the brick and mortar stores too, like looking what they do have on discount there, and shopping the sales, doing all of those things to try to keep your investment smaller, and planning, so we don't get carried away just buying fabric. So I think this was a great series we did here. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope it inspired you to try some different things to save some money with your sewing. And so that's my grateful thread. I had fun with this. And I hope that you are sewing, because sewing is truly so much fun. Talk to you again soon.